This latest attack on the Kerch Bridge has shown how vital it is to Russia, but also how vulnerable it is too. This is the second time it's been hit in just 10 months. The attacks have both damaged it, but neither has severed it completely. So why is that? Here's 6 possible reasons why the Kerch Bridge is still standing. Number 1, it's a massive structure designed to take a huge amount of punishment. Bridges are built, of course, to withstand high winds, earthquakes, and even explosions. And many of the piles holding up the Kerch Bridge go down 100 metres or so, the height of a 30-storey building. So it's very robust. Number 2, targeting. Ukraine has no real navy to speak of, and the bridge is a long way from any of its unoccupied ports. Kyiv does have HIMARS missiles, but the ones the US supplied only have a range of around 50 miles, not far enough to hit the bridge. Ukraine's Air Force could try a low-level mission, but without F-16s, it's pretty much a non-starter. What about Storm Shadow then? Well, a salvo of those would cause a massive amount of damage, but the Ukrainians are only allowed to use them against military targets, and the Kerch Bridge is deemed a civilian asset. But of course, the Ukrainians are making very effective use of these drone boats. Possibly 4 of them were used in this latest attack. So it's clear the Ukrainians could do a lot more damage to the bridge if they really wanted to. So why aren't they? Well, that's reason number 3. Perhaps they don't want to. Yes, the bridge is a main supply route for the Russian army into southern Ukraine, but it's also President Putin's personal project. As we've just seen, if you attack his bridge, he has no qualms about launching waves of missile strikes into Kyiv or any other Ukrainian city. Taking out the bridge means civilian casualties as well, and Kyiv knows that will alienate the Russian population, which it's hoping will become tired of this war. So there's a price to pay, and Ukraine has to weigh that up. Reason number 4, it actually provides Ukraine with some very useful intelligence. Western satellites undoubtedly can watch what crosses it, gauging the level of kit and equipment the Kremlin's putting into the fight in southern Ukraine, watching for signs Moscow, for instance, is reinforcing its troops. Blow it up, and that kit ends up on the road or going by boat, and that's far more difficult to track. The escape route. Now, this is probably the biggest reason. The Chinese military strategist Sun Tzu once said, "When you surround an army, leave an outlet free. Do not press a desperate foe too hard." And in Ukraine, that means give the Russians room to escape, civilians and military. Don't make them stand and fight. Don't corner them in Crimea. Give them a bridge to go home. And finally, number 6, negotiations. If the counteroffensive does succeed and Kyiv is able to press for peace, they need as much leverage as possible. This bridge is President Putin's personal project. It cost $3 billion, money that reportedly went to a construction firm owned by oligarch Arkady Rotenberg, who just happens to be a childhood friend of Vladimir Putin and now also faces Western sanctions. So Ukraine may be hoping it can use this bridge as a bargaining tool and appeal to the Russian leader's personal ego. Ukraine may well be just playing the long game. Years from now, when this war is over and Putin is consigned to the history books, this bridge will be a valuable asset to whoever controls it. So yes, they want to damage it and disrupt Russian logistics, but Kyiv may well once again be playing a clever strategic card. It's going to take at least 2 months or more to repair this bridge, but the Russians may well ask why bother when it's only going to be attacked again. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.